You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Trick or treat, Lone Star Radio listeners. This is Dick, the general manager, taking this quick moment to remind you that Lone Star Community Radio is looking to fill some of our talk show slots along with some of our DJ slots. We have a new show airing on the 10th, Making Connections with Stacey Harris, which will air every second Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Make sure to check it out along with our other programs on Lone Star Community Radio. For more information on Lone Star Community Radio, visit us online at irlonestar.com. And again, if you're interested in doing something with us, call the station, 936-647-3776. Thanks for checking out this recording, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Oh, rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you.
It is Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy and Ernie from Sesame Street. Today's bumper music brought to you by Dove Soap. Dove that can whitewash anything. If you haven't read the news, Dove Soap, they hired an ad firm who, I guess on paper it looked pretty good, but in this print ad, it was a series of photos where women of color, African American women, would be be established in a shot in their natural skin tone, and then the next picture would be them lifting their dress or whatever to show that underneath they were white.
It was a white actress.
It was a white actress. Wait. So like when she's being black, there's a white one in blackface, or was it two different actresses?
It was two different actresses. So the idea is, imagine taking off your shirt and there's another person underneath, and it turned out to be a Caucasian woman. So if you had no context of it, it would look kind of strange. And
I think even in context,
I didn't believe it was a real ad.
When I was telling Dick about this morning, he's like, "There's no way this is real. This is fake." I'm like, "No, actually, Dove has officially responded to this, saying, quote, we missed the mark."
Clearly.
That's like saying Charles Manson is a little disturbed.
Well, what it tells me is corporations should hire a department called the Trigger Warning Department, and so they can be, or the PC department. And
it's not even PC. I'm telling you, man, I am so not PC. It's not funny. I believe it should be called illegal alien, not undocumented immigrant.
Well, no, but I'm talking about in the department, because to me, somebody missed the mark on that. That's not. I mean, someone's getting fired for it. But then again, that's like an internal problem. How does nobody see this and go, hey, this looks kind of strange if you look at it in a PC sort of way?
I have to agree with you, my young friend, on this one. Someone somewhere had, and it's probably some intern, some lower food chain person who's like, guys, this may not be the best
I doubt
idea.
It was an intern. Because they don't, there is a marketing manager.
Oh, no, I mean the one person to say, guys, this is wrong.
Yeah.
It was, you have your big muckety mucks in the suits with their, high-level 3 martini lunches going, oh, yeah, this is great. We're going to make a statement.
Well, that's how Al Sharpton should make his money like he does always. You just call him and go, hey, would you complain about this? And then if he says yes, then you just don't run it, folks.
But the problem with that is nothing would get run from that moment on.
That was the joke. Comedy here at Mornings with Lone Star.
Drink some more coffee, Dick.
Okay.
Drink some more Conroe coffee. But yeah, so someone somewhere along the line thought it would be a really good idea to turn a black woman into a white woman by using Dove soap. And no one in that juggernaut of a PR machine thought, hey, this may be slightly offensive. I'm pretty vocal about my own stances that, being offended should not be a litigious opportunity, meaning I shouldn't be able to sue you because I'm offended at something. But even when I say, okay, this is too far, then it's too far.
Oh, yeah? You're judging on yourself.
I am.
Nice.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you. So Dove, can't use you anyways because I think I'm allergic to you, but I don't think we're going to be using you at all now. I love to see the fallout on this one, just to see who came up with it and why. Well, because they're saying, well, the message got lost. We missed the mark with our message. I'm literally trying to find what the message could be, and I'm I'm drawing blanks.
Yeah, you need to check the ad out, folks, because if I'm not kidding you, when I saw it, I go, oh, this sounds like something someone made on a joke channel, and then somehow through Facebook's miscommunication skills, because everyone knows Facebook communicates everything, and someone goes, this was a real Dove ad. Because it does look like basically someone took a photo shoot of different people, and then they combined it, and they put a Dove bottle on it. And it looks like Photoshop. It looks like someone just made it as a parody joke, and somehow Dove really made it.
Well, Dick, you raised a good point off the air that, okay, so taking a black woman to a white woman, if it had been like a black woman to an Asian, would there be quite the uproar? And I think that's a really good question. My response is I would be a little bit more open to hearing what their possible message could have been. But just to go from a black woman to a white woman just right off the bat, they could have picked anything else. I think they were trying to be. Do you think they were trying to be like that Michael Jackson video? Black or white, where at the end everyone's morphing into a different person. It kind of showed we're all one big happy human race here. And they just really missed the mark. I'm sorry, I can't do this one with a straight face. They really missed the mark on this one.
But yeah, so that was very entertaining.
Yeah, our morning laugh here in the studio.
Well, a movie came out this weekend was Blade Runner.
Blade Runner 2049.
And it's directed by the guy who did Arrival and Cesario, so it's a pretty solid director, pretty solid cast. I'm very excited. Still going to see it. It got very high reviews. I know it didn't make a lot of money over the weekend, and it didn't really get that response where everyone like, oh, this movie's actually okay. Everyone go see it. So
I think the market for it was just too niche. I mean, Blade Runner, when it came out in the 80s, it was Ridley Scott, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who directed the original. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's set kind of right around today, and of course, we don't have flying cars and stuff like that. But it became a cult favorite. And so to do this big mega movie, hoping that all the people from the 1980s on who enjoyed watching this on DVD or VHS would come flocking to the movie, you got to see the original to appreciate the sequel. And I don't think enough people have seen the original, especially determining what version you have: the theatrical version, the director's version, and then there's like a third version called the ultimate version. And they all have different endings and different possibilities on if Harrison Ford is a robot or not, a replicant or not. So they can't even decide which one they're going to use.
Well, I think that's also something that they knew people would buy. And being an IP owner, I bet Ridley Scott has some really good IPs, and he's just kind of like, well, we got to bank on as much as possible, and just kind of churning it out every 8 to 10 years, and people will buy it and check it out. Especially with media changing from, like, think about when the first Alien came out. I believe the current way to consume it was right when VHS was coming out.
Yeah. Alien was one of the first VHS. I was living in England when it came out, and I remember when it hit VHS. It was like 500 pounds.
Yeah, VHS right there, and then, of course, DVD, and then Blu-ray, and now digital, and then digital 4K. And that's what we're talking about. If you remember a long time ago, we were talking about Apple iTunes. We're going to be basically giving everyone free upgrade for their 4K versions of the shows they purchased. Because, I mean, it is getting to that point where people like to collect things, and now media and technology goes so fast, you can't keep buying. I'm not going to spend $100 total for all of these Blade Runner movies, and I'm buying the same one over and over and over. But I'm excited to still see the movie. I really want to check it out.
I will watch it once.
But we were talking about, though, I was surprised, movies like this, some movies definitely don't deserve a prequel, sequel, whatever continuation, but this kind of movie was built on world building, and it was really well shot.
Yes,
and it was really neat for the time. I'm really surprised no one decided to make a movie about it between then and now, because it has been a long there's a long time period between the movies, and of course today's movie market, like 30% of all movies coming out every year now are remakes or reboots and or sequels or whatever. And it's just kind of funny that they finally chose this one, which they could have done a long time ago, and with completely different actors too. They did not need Harrison Ford. They really didn't.
Right. I think Harrison Ford is going on a tour of his old characters, and I don't know if he dies in this one, and no spoilers, please. But if he does, I think he's just checking them off his list. Han Solo dead, Decker dead, Indiana Jones gonna die. Just killing them off one by one so he can just retire.
It reminds me of the older actors who were action stars 30 years ago, and they're trying to find their niche now because they're not on call every time there's a cool action movie out. And he's doing the smart thing where he's playing the roles that doesn't really require him to be like, for example, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. His movies were primarily action, so he was shooting guns, punching people, and stuff.
He has to look good.
Harrison Ford was doing some of it, but a lot of the stuff was more acting in a sense.
Right.
So he's smart about choosing. Like think about Han Solo in the new movies. Like he really didn't do much.
Right.
Like he's probably on set for 2 weeks a week.
Oh, right.
And so same thing. And that's one thing I was impressed with was Crystal Skull, is how much movement he did. I was very impressed with it because he's an older guy, and in that movie there's a lot of ducking and whipping and stuff like that. I was kind of impressed with his.
I'll credit the cinematographer on that one.
Well, yes, but
I don't know. I see your point. In fact, I think that was pretty much the only redeeming quality of Crystal Skull, in my opinion. But I
actually enjoyed that movie.
I couldn't wrap myself around.
It got a little weird towards the end, but with the whole aliens thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the kind of the jokes and the adventure aspect of it flowed really well, like in an Indiana Jones movie. Too bad they didn't stick with Shia LaBeouf, though.
Well, that was the thing. I think they were trying to pass the torch, and then Shia has his real-life demons that made him box office poison a bit.
Well, that's actually what was interesting, too, about you make these decisions and then you don't stick with it because the people didn't respond well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason why they haven't made an Indiana Jones movie quickly, because we're on our movie podcast, The Ticket Stub, we were talking about Fast and the Furious, and they kind of churn those out now every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't you think they made a sequel or more Indiana Jones movies right after that? Well, why do you think? Like, why do they say, hey, we have this IP, why don't we make another movie?
I think because for you have more of a market. Fast and the Furious, the cars are the stars. Vin Diesel's kind of, you can bring the actors in and out. Michelle Rodriguez can miss a movie, come back the next one. It's
next year is going to be the 10th anniversary of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Already.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you think they would make an announcement within the first year or two, hey, we're working on another movie.
Good point.
And they didn't. So clearly that's how big of a failure that movie was to those folks. But right now we got to take a quick break. Special thanks to our sponsors from Mornings on Lone Star, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, and, of course, Conroe Coffee. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here on irlonestar.com. All right, Ernie, take us out.
Cute and yellow and chubby, rubber-dub-dubby, rubber-ducky, you're so fun.
Attention movie lovers, The Ticket Stub is a new radio show servicing Montgomery County that is meant for you. The Ticket Stub is available live every Thursday at noon on FM 104.5 and 106.1, as well as anytime on irlonestar.com. Connor and Dick will let you know what's coming out in the theater, what is worth streaming, and what's going on in the world of film. The Ticket Stub, your home for movie talk.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available in Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Find a little fella who's cute and yellow and chubby. Rub-a-dub-dubby.
That's right, you're back. Mornings with Lone Star. We're celebrating Dove Soap's incredibly inappropriate ad campaign where it turns black people into white people. We got Jakey in the studio with us. Hey, Jake.
You bring me in on that note?
I know, right? We thought we'd brighten your Monday morning.
Have you not seen the ad yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Do you have your telephone on you?
I do.
Yeah, look it up.
Look it up. Dove Soap, Whitey rules.
It's real.
I don't know. Yeah,
It's real.
Dick refused to believe that it was real.
Speaking of white stuff, you know, I love having Jake here talk sports, and you know, we were talking earlier about the PR stupid thing the vice president did, and then later somebody puts a video on Facebook of a dude doing drugs on video.
Miami Dolphin coach snorting the 50-yard line.
Offensive line coach. We'll make it the offensive line just so we know it's not
a coach of the Miami.
He's the head offensive line coach, so he's not the head coach.
Okay.
Let's not run anybody through the mud that doesn't, or through the white stuff that doesn't need to be run through the white stuff.
Absolutely. So apparently he was taking a very close look at the 50-yard line and kind of snorted his way all across it. Apparently, the lady who posted this video did it in protest of the treatment of Colin Kaepernick.
Correct. Yeah, and she has now come out and made a statement saying that if he doesn't get fairly treated by the NFL, she has numerous coaches that she can just run through
More
the white
videos
stuff.
to come. Well, okay. So this you say?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. No. This
Who is this lady?
She is a Nevada model with two different names. One is a stage name, as well
probably
as
something like Sierra or Serendipity
it's
or something. Star. Okay.
Star something. And
With
then,
2 R's.
And then she has a real birth name, obviously. So
We would hope.
yes, but yes, she is. She's apparently a very well-known Nevada model.
She's about to become a lot more well-known. Now, you say this is the offensive lineman?
Yeah, the O-line coach.
Wait,
He sent her this video.
I'm
This
confused.
is the funny thing.
What are the demands? He be
Colin
fairly
Kaepernick
treated.
be
I mean,
fairly treated.
he's gonna get fired. I
No.
imagine that.
Colin Kaepernick be fairly treated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're just gonna fire this coach.
Well, he
already
resigned.
resigned.
He resigned this morning.
Yeah, so I guess that
Well,
works.
but they're saying
She's saying there are more.
She's got more evidence to damn more coaches. And,
okay.
And if she doesn't start seeing better treatment in the direction of Kaepernick, she's going to start leaking.
Well, how many videos realistically do you think she has?
I don't know. The fact that she has this one is shocking enough.
Because apparently he sent it to her.
I'm sure every owner's going to every coach they have. All right, do you know this one? Do you have any
I don't
videos
even know
like
her. I'm sorry.
Do you know Star, aka?
Oh my goodness.
man.
So yeah, we're kind of on an NFL kick today. So we do
Well,
have.
I mean, it does bring constant entertainment. I mean,
I-
think about all
they
the
are.
people who've gotten injured this week,
Oh, it's huge.
and it's like, and then J.J. Watt's out, so now he's being questioned: is he worth the money anymore? So
He's worth the money for the pure PR
yeah,
purposes.
the positive PR that he
brings in ticket sales like no other, jersey sales, all of that. And the team.
but if you're off the field for 2 seasons, practically, I mean,
You didn't see any downturn, and Harvey helped him out as well, which ultimately helped the team.
yeah, but I'm saying
I
like,
see Dick's point that
if you're
he's
not playing
getting-
football for 2 years,
Yeah, Titanic lookout. You have one job: play football.
Well, and then what is he going to be like when he comes back?
That's what I'm saying.
He's had 3 back
Maybe
surgeries
the new
now.
offensive lineman coach for the Miami Dolphins. You never know.
He was literally running through walls to get to those guys.
So,
many good
another
jokes.
NFL news, Jerry Jones, I got it right. I keep on wanting to call him Jerry Johnson for some reason. Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys owner, told his crew, you may kneel beforehand, but you will stand for the national anthem or you will sit for the game. And
when's their next game?
Well, I don't know if they play this upcoming week.
they're done for the season.
That's probably why he said it.
I'm
Going into
hoping
a
it died
bye
down.
week.
Because this is a week after they did not do that. They showed their unity by linking arms. My thought is, and Jake, maybe you can answer this, if 51% of the team, basically enough team members defied the owner's order and knelt or took a knee or did whatnot during the anthem to where there were literally not enough players to form a team, what would happen?
Well,
They would get. I mean, we've seen the replacements, right? With Keanu Reeves.
But no, I mean, like right then and there, it's like unless you have the replacements in the locker
Well,
room
they won't.
ready
They
to
probably
go.
won't fire them that day, but
well, no, but
He said he would bench them
He would bench them.
for
They
the
would
game.
literally not play that game. But it wouldn't even take 51%. It would take three players. If Jason Witten were to do it,
Mm-hmm.
which is their future Hall of Famer tight end, Dak Prescott, which is their starting quarterback, and Ezekiel Elliott, which is their starting star running back.
Mm-hmm.
So if those 3 players did it, that's all it would take. If he would actually bench those 3, then nothing else would ever happen. The rest
no
of
one's
the year.
bigger than the team.
Yeah, well, no, those guys are bigger than the team because those guys they stand no chance of winning without those three players.
My thought is this is a golden opportunity. I'm not a fan of what I call the hashtag protest. Hashtag we love Paris. Hashtag, whatever. It's hashtagging doesn't protest anything. Hashtagging doesn't bring money to a nonprofit. It's kind of a first world protest. And so you got all these guys protesting in unity as long as it doesn't really affect them. But to be threatened with being benched, if enough Cowboys sat down to be benched to where the game cannot be played, I would actually, for the first time, take them seriously. I would actually take the protest seriously because it's not just a token, oh, we're going to link arms, we're going to take a knee because we're getting our money anyways.
Yeah, and they have a chance with this statement from Jerry. They have a chance now to take a knee in true protest, like you're saying. But then they also have an opportunity to get the protest back on track.
Bingo.
And
Good point.
because right now the protest is scattered and kind of everywhere. If they come out and they say, hey, look, this is truly for the inappropriate treatment of minorities from police officers and by American government altogether, then they can get the whole protest back on track and everything like that. But I'm telling you, if they want to do it the correct way, they don't need to do it during the national anthem. I don't know how the correct way is to go about it, but you're giving too many people the opportunity to take it as you're disgracing the flag, and the dialect goes towards that direction.
Right.
So therefore, your message ultimately gets dissipated because people are not talking about what you're protesting; they're talking about how you're protesting.
Right.
So
Excellent point. Seriously. Percentage possibility of enough players.
0.
I
Jerry,
gotta agree with you.
Jerry instills enough fear into those players, and it's been said before. I mean, Des Bryant is their star receiver, and he's come out and said, and his wife has said it as well, where his wife talked to him and said, "Are you going to participate in anything like this?" And he said, "No, I'm
Not only no,
I'm
but
too
heck to
afraid.
the no,
Yeah,
right.
I'm too afraid because Jerry's crazy enough.
I
to where
mean, if
Jerry
there's
will do
one,
something.
if there's one owner that likes to talk, and it's Jerry Jones,
Right.
So
Well, good on him
But
for laying that down.
He's covering all bases too by saying you can do it before the flag's out. Just don't do it while the flag's
Mm-hmm.
out.
And I got to say, I'm impressed with that. Now, someone who definitely did not take a knee over the weekend in an NFL game was Vice President Mike Pence. Who, and of course, now he's being, oh my God, he's doing political, he's making it political. Well, he's protesting the protest, as he's allowed to do.
But I mean, it's just so silly that anyone would, especially someone like him, would be put in this scenario.
But here's the thing. Pence, a few months ago, Pence went to go see the big Broadway musical Hamilton that
Yeah.
everyone just loves. And, and he's sitting there enjoying the show as pretty much a member of the public. And the cast took that opportunity to go out on stage for curtain call and rip him a new one. And he sat there and he took it. And if I'd been a ticket buying member of the audience that night, I would have been furious. Just outright furious that I paid my money to watch a show and be taken out of reality for a couple of hours.
Well, how about you as an actor? I mean, I saw the video, and it wasn't like really ripping him a new one. It was more of they took the position they were on to drive a different message, and it was
That has never been done to anyone else.
that's what I
know.
mean. That to me was kind of off-putting, especially if you're a theater person. I imagine it's like, hey, we don't really address the audience. And
No, I don't inject my personal. Now, as a director, I may give a show a vision where I want to underscore, race relations or
Yeah.
something like that. But for me to come out and take my stance to the audience and say, deal with it, I need to take a chance that half the audience, 3/4 of the audience is going to leave. And I would have been furious. I would have demanded my money back and would have just raised holy hell over that because that was not the venue.
Well, I want to go back to what you said earlier when we first started talking about this, was that it was unfair that he was put in that position at the stadium. Is that what you said?
Well, I think they're saying that he kind of put himself in that position.
Yeah, like I think
he knew they were going to take a knee, so
it was really. It's to me, it would be silly to sit there and to think, oh, I'm going to go to this football game, enjoy my day, and then all of a sudden 180, be like, oh, I can't believe they're protesting the American flag. I'm out of here.
Well, I would go to the level and say that he did that intentionally. He bought that ticket.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Knowing
Like
that
they totally did that.
It was a PR stunt,
but it's a PR stunt to answer the PR stunt. It was a protest to answer the protest. And that's showing the hypocrisy that people are just getting so bent out of shape. Oh, he left. He's making it political as a PR stunt. Well, duh.
Yeah.
Because that's what is going on. The whole thing's a PR stunt.
He paid $200 and some odd for that ticket, but he knew he wasn't going to stay past the national anthem.
He paid the ticket. It wasn't the taxpayers. The Secret Service is with him no matter where he goes. Okay, they paid a little extra for the gas for the limos, but I mean, this is not at the taxpayer expense. And if it was a PR stunt, good
how
on
we
him.
know? Where are the receipts?
Yeah.
We need to know.
Well, AAA's got
Do
it.
you think that the every penny is not accounted for in a presidential or vice presidential budget? Think about that one. Believe me, there will be receipts on that one.
And they'll be all over CNN.
Yep. So CBS kind of screwing the pooch again, saying that Kaepernick, is it Kaepernick or Kaepernick? Kaepernick.
So
my apologies, Colin.
Basically, what happened was there was a reporter who, I don't know if it's directly under CBS. He might be a freelancer.
CBS hired him.
They were reported live on the air. He said that statement live on the air.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I'm trying to figure out, because now he's backtracking about.
Well, he didn't tell me directly. He told another reporter who told me, and that's the current story. I actually think that's what actually happened. I think Kaepernick may have tried to put a bug in someone's ear, going, "Hey, if I were to say I would stand if they hired me, what would happen?" Kind of floating the trial balloon. But well done, CBS, for once again just getting it wrong.
Well, and it's again, it goes back to the problem of Kaepernick not coming out and being vocal in the public and saying, if he wants to make a statement at all, he needs to be himself.
Well, he tweeted something that was very vague. It was like misquoting Winston Churchill. This is a quote that actually Churchill did not say, but it's, by the time the truth gets out, a lie's had a chance to get its. A lie can get halfway around the world before the truth can get its pants on.
Yeah.
And Churchill did not say that, Colin. Sorry. But again, he's oddly silent on the whole thing. He started this whole thing and has been oddly silent. Thoughts, Jay?
And that's the problem here is if you're not going to come out and be yourself, and you're not going to let the NFL know what what you want, whether you're going to kneel or stand or whatever, anything like that. But even further than that, whether you want to actually play in this league, whether you want to actually be a active participant in the NFL in today's age, if you're not going to come out, and then that's where Baltimore leads into wanting to actually bring him in and interview him for a job. Not to see performance-wise whether or not he's good enough. They wanted to bring him in and talk to him and see mentally where he was with the game. Mm-hmm. And obviously this guy wants to play football, but how dedicated are you going to be to this team and to this organization? And he didn't even get to the interview portion of it because of what his girlfriend did and what she posted on Twitter. And guys, Twitter hangs around, and that will stick with you forever, because if you look at the reporter after the whole Cam Newton situation, and it turned out she had 3 years ago racist comments that she made on her Twitter. Oh, that was a bad look after, everybody was on her side, she got, a sexist comment said towards her, and then everybody was like, oh, wait, but here's this racist stuff from 3 years ago.
That's right. If we could just all have the waiting period on buying a handgun, just wait 3 days before you have your knee-jerk reaction. It's amazing what a little research will bring forth.
What a little thinking will bring forth.
What a little thing will bring. But I think we're finding a lot of femme fatales out there in the world today. We got Kaepernick's girlfriend. We got Star or Serendipity or whatever her name is. Guys, save yourselves. Do not
down the
confide.
phone.
Yeah,
do
put
not
down your phone and do not
send.
confide in women with stripper names. You will regret it.
It'll always come back to haunt you. Skippy speaking from first hand.
First, second hand, third hand. So I think we've pretty much covered the whole NFL debacle this week. Let's see. Jerry Jones.
I
check,
want to know what the next thing's going to happen. I mean, we're hitting all sorts of fields here.
But
I think there's going to be a lot of coaches are suddenly going to be quitting for family reasons.
Yeah, or going back and just double checking their history and then quickly deleting.
Please God, let me not have sent her a video of me snorting cocaine, because that may have been a bad idea.
What if there's just like a clan of Nevada models that are just, they have just a levy of evidence against these coaches?
And you know who they were funded by? Dick, help me out here. Who's funding this?
AAA.
AAA.
Yeah.
This is a triple. We're on to you, AAA. We know what you're up to, and this time we can't really fault you for this one. You've won this battle, but the war is far from over.
Mornings with Lone Star does not necessarily reflect the beliefs and
Not at all. Not at all. We are going to be taking a break real quick here on Mornings with Lone Star. Stick around. We'll be back.
Hey, Montgomery County, it's me, C.C. Holmes. And I would personally like to take this time to invite you, that's right, you, to join me every Saturday and Sunday from 3 until 7 p.m., where I will bring you the very best of smooth jazz, classic jazz, and indeed, yes, the soulful sounds of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So come along and get jazzy with me. That's right, jazzy. Right here, of course, on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlongstar.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Please you make noise. Rubber ducky, you're my very best friend, it's true.
We're back. Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. You got Jakey in the studio with us. We've been solving the NFL problems 1 yard at a time here. I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about Harvey Weinstein and the sound of crickets coming from the New York studios of Saturday Night Live, where Lorne Michaels actually said, well, we're not going after Weinstein because he's from New York. To which case, in response, Donald Trump Jr. pointed out where his father's from. So, bad call there, Lorne Michaels. Dick, we were talking about this earlier about the Hollywood, I guess we can call it the Hollywood elite, although that's kind of like a conservative, overused
Well, I mean,
phrase.
it's just Hollywood in general.
Hollywood in general. It's...
We just need to get the old blacklist thing started up again and see what they do about over there.
There you go.
Or the Red Scare.
Are you a
what
commie?
was it originally called? Was it called the Red Scare?
It was the Red Scare. It was, yeah.
That'll shake up Hollywood for a little bit.
But yeah, so Harvey Weinstein, apparently one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood, would be assaulting and harassing women and kind of like in the Bill Cosby motif. Well, he's so powerful, there's no way we can take him on, so we'll just get paid off. And then finally, a New York Times, of all places, a left-leaning paper, blew the story. Of course, what came out today is that 13 years ago, there's a female reporter who was running the same story, and after calls from Weinstein and some of Weinstein's buddies, like Matt Damon and who played Gladiator?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe called the editor, and after a while, the story was taken down or not even finished. And so this female reporter is going, well, for 13 years, the New York Times enabled him, and now they're taking him down. Well done for your false heroism. But at least it's happening now. But you got the late night talk show hosts, the Fallons and the Kimmels of the world, who will get Hillary Clinton on in a heartbeat, and basically turning every opening monologue and just we hate Trump thing, and that's what's passing off for humor nowadays. It's just you can take a microphone, go on the stage, and say, I hate Trump, and you get 5 minutes of roaring applause. But when it strikes a little closer to home, like Harvey Weinstein, crickets. Literally not a word was said about him. And apparently there were jokes and they were pulled at the last minute. Thoughts on this? Anyone? Jake, Dick?
I think it's one of those deals where there's so much money and there's also money equals power there, and also power equals opportunities for people. And it's just the ones who feel they're the power, they're basically treating the underlings the way they want to treat them. And unfortunately, humans, given that kind of situation, they're going to keep doing it and keep doing it. I think it's really funny that this is the time it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny that, and I told you I think it was on Friday when we were at April Silence, I was kind of confused because the article that was released, it really didn't hit me as like, we should do something about this. It was just kind of like, hey, we kind of told you this before, but we're just going to print it again. And just to let you know, like, this is what happened. And like, there really wasn't a lot of like details. It was a couple names being dropped, but I mean, it wasn't like there was a video of some dude doing drugs on camera released by Star.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, to me, that's more damning because it's like, well, how do you explain this? Because there's really no way else to explain, like, no other way to explain it. Now, this Weinstein thing, unfortunately, it's like the Cosby deal where it's been going on for so long and no one ever decided to do something about it. And even what's even more hypocritical is the whole political stance that Hollywood always takes on something like a matter like this, especially all the actresses who clearly benefited from the relationship with this guy in the company, because he was well known in the community over there that he'll get you an Oscar because he's really good at the Oscar campaigns, and it kind of shows you the depravity of what people do to get what they want. And it raises a lot of questions for a lot of actresses who are outspoken for women's rights, but then at this point, like, what did they do and that kind of thing?
Well, you got Gloria Allred too, who's, or Gloria Allred's daughter, I think, now representing him, and usually it's the other way. I'm sorry, Jake, I cut you off.
No,
there.
you're good. And just to elaborate on what Dick's saying, it's all these famous people like Meryl Streep came out and made a statement this morning about it, saying it was a huge disgrace, and she's,
I'm shocked to find that gambling's been going on in this establishment.
How did she not know? And how did every other large named actress or actor, even for that matter, how did they not know that this was going on? And obviously I doubt Meryl Streep probably took part in something like this because she's, an older woman, so she got her start elsewhere as well. But still, she's worked with him multiple times. And
yeah, all of a sudden everyone's going to be shocked, and that's why, if you've seen Casablanca, that's the thing. I'm shocked to find gambling's going on in this establishment. I had no idea. Jake, I think you just nailed it on the head. All of a sudden people are going to be outraged.
Yeah, and that's what I love for, since technology, like you said, the tweets are going to last for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you have videos of Meryl Streep saying all these positive things about him, like live on public TV, and then you have other reports are now slowly coming out, because if you read what they did when they fired him, basically they hinted at the most recent or things that have been developing. So clearly something's
around the corner.
Something's around the corner with it, and they're going to either release it or that kind of thing. They want to distance themselves from it.
For them to flat out fire him, I mean, think about what it takes nowadays. You can hang on there if I'll have to say it. If you're rich and white and powerful, you can hang into a position a lot longer than a lot of other people. His own brother fired him. Bob Weinstein was on the board of directors, and he led the charge. So it can't be good.
No, it can't be. But I want to know. I mean, I know his brother's still there, but they going to change the company name?
Yeah, they're already talking.
They're going to change
I did see that. They're in an emergency session.
You have to. I don't think you can keep Weinstein on. But, I mean,
here at the Dub. Skippy with his dubs.
Well, I mean, if anything, hopefully what comes from this is it exposes the culture there and stuff like that.
But it's been exposed. I mean, who gave Roman? We were talking about this. Roman Polanski gets standing ovations at the Oscars. This is the guy that literally raped a 13-year-old. This is not a harassment. Was tried and did not like the deal he got and booked over to a non-extradition country. And so you get your ickies like Woody Allen, who operated within the confines of the law, so he's icky, but he wasn't a felon. Or you got your Michael Jacksons where didn't he? Hey, money was paid, but it could go either way. Let's not ask too many questions. We may not like the answers. But Polanski flat out raped a 13-year-old. And I'm hearing nowadays, well, even the 13-year-old doesn't want him to face the music. You never give the victim the choice. Never, ever, ever give the victim the choice on whether charges should be pursued, because it goes one of two ways. Either the victim's like, yeah, kill him, or the victim is
almost embarrassed.
Pressured. Yeah, or pressured by other. All it takes is something, you bring charges against him and you'll end up floating with the fishies. So you never give the victim. But that's what they're all saying now. And they give him a standing ovation. And it sickens me. And this is not as a conservative, not as a liberal, a social liberal. This is me as a human going, that just sickens me.
Well, it's also funny that, whatever provides success, people are going to overlook their morals for it.
It's not easy to stand by it, and I get this sounds really funny, but one of the big sports songs out there that they play at every game used to play is "Rock and Roll Part 2" by Gary Glitter. Everyone knows it. They play, yeah, that one. But Gary Glitter was like arrested in Taiwan or something for messing with little boys.
Yeah,
and so a lot of places have opted not to play it anymore. I won't listen to the song anymore myself. That's my own personal thing.
Well, also the exposure. Like, people don't know this kind of stuff. And a lot of the reaction from online and other people, it's like this Weinstein thing. Everyone's like, oh, we all kind of knew about this.
Yeah, you're not shocked. It's lost its shocked value.
But again, like the way the article was written, that's the way it sounded like. And what's really crazy to me is you have actresses who actually went to a settlement, and none of that was really talked about. And I mean, the fact that there's money being transferred for this accusation, I mean, you're guilty. I mean, like, to me...
Well, it could also go the other way, because being on both sides, I'm trying to keep open minds and stuff, but it also became kind of the norm to say, hey, I need some money, I need a leg up, I'm going to go put myself in a room with Harvey Weinstein, and I'll end up with a couple of million in my pocket. So it goes both ways. When money transfers hands, it could be blackmail, it could be evidence of proof, or evidence of I just don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, and that's the problem, too, is that it doesn't end, and therefore, where does this actually make a change? Does this actually cause a change in Hollywood?
I think the fact that the New York Times broke this story, and then you have the reporter who said in 2004 she tried doing the same story, and name names, Matt Damon and Russell Crowe and others, and Harvey Weinstein met with the editor, called the editor, and all of a sudden the story's tanked. It's scrubbed. And this is something that I think could actually change the face of it. I think people are getting tired of the hypocrisy. You have these people making $20 million to pretend to play act, and I'm an actor. I get it. I don't have an overinflated sense of what I do. I take on a character, and maybe I get paid for it, maybe I don't. But they're saying, oh, rich people need to be spanked and pay more taxes. Yet they're making more than any politician could ever make. Or what more CEOs make. And so I think the hypocrisy on that is about to come bite some people hard.
Well, that's also part of the problem with the atmosphere there, because everyone didn't know where the line was drawn. It clearly seems like it's kind of hard. Like I said, the article was written in such a way where clearly women went and took the advances. And no one really can say that's good or bad. I mean, clearly you can say, oh, it's bad on him because he took advantage of these people. But then again, it's like, in the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They're successful actresses. I mean, you're going to look at some actors like Gwyneth Paltrow or something like that, like who had a big boom for 10 years, and then they kind of dropped off. Maybe that's what happened was they weren't, attracted to him anymore or something like that. But I mean, there's all speculation you can do all day with it.
It's funny how Ashley Judd was one of the ones, and she's pretty conservative in a lot of her stances, which is why she's like the black sheep of the Judd family. Winona and Naomi kind of view her as the black sheep. And Ashley is frequently derided for her views, but she's one of the ones that said, yeah, this happened. Interesting to see how this one's going to turn out. I'm definitely going to keep tabs on this one.
Well, yeah, because I want to see what keeps coming from it. This is going to be one of those golden cows that just never stops.
This is where we definitely need to have our follow-up stories, because we got Miami Dolphin coaches, we got Harvey Weinstein people. Who knows what's next?
Disgrace in America feeding our show.
Yay, America. We'll be right back here on Lone Star Community Radio. Mornings with Lone Star.
Every day when I make my way to the top.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
Hey guys, I'm Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
We are Nerd Thug Radio. Catch us every Monday from 1 to 3 and check out our website, nerdthugradio.com.
We like to talk about quilting, horseback riding, and baking quiche.
Actually, we don't, but we do like talking nerdy to you.
That's right. Every Monday from 1 to 3 p.m., hashtag talking nerdy to you.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Rub-a-dub-dubby, rubber ducky, you're so fine.
Back with Mornings with Lone Star with Dick, Skippy, and Jakey. Brought to you by Dove Soap, 99.44% racist. So I got told a little bit of the story. Jake, I met with my FEMA inspector yesterday at the house. Kind of inspected the house. Nice guy. Relatively young, in his 30s and stuff. And we're talking, and I noticed he's inked, tattooed. And under his shirt, I'm seeing something that I couldn't help but, I had to...
You have to ask.
Well, I had to peer in. I finally was like, is that Elvish? And he's like, yeah, everyone thinks it's Hebrew, but it's Elvish, from Lord of the Rings, Tolkien. And I recognized it. I'm a total Tolkien nerd. And so we're talking about what he got, and he had the all the glitters is not gold thing from Lord of the Rings. And so, yeah, we really hit it off there. So my nerdiness brought me close to my FEMA inspector. I think FEMA's going to take care of me. I'm not saying he's leading to be. I'm not going to get any extra money out of it, but thank you, FEMA, for sending a cool guy with Elvish on his chest. And FEMA also, kept me in the hotel. We were getting ready to.
Oh, I thought y'all were having to get moved out.
We were 99% packed and ready to go, and I got the call saying it's been extended. So. I got to say something about FEMA. This is kind of like a Skippy editorial here because I know after Katrina and Rita, the best of FEMA was not shown. I think they weren't ready for it. And FEMA has really, considering the sheer volume of claims that are happening, places that flooded that have never flooded before, so there's no flood insurance. That's where FEMA steps in. These guys and gals are doing what they can, and I think on the whole, they're doing an awesome job. And this is me saying this after I've met my inspector guys, so I'm not going for brownie points. I'm Team FEMA this week.
That's cool. I'm glad you got back into your house. Or not back into your house, but you got back into
we're in
the
the hotel room.
room.
They're going to start the rebuild today.
Did you keep your jacuzzi room?
We got the jacuzzi room.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
We're still in the jacuzzi room. So, hey, everybody, come on by. Have some jacuzzi time with Skippy. If you know where I am.
Oh.
Ain't happening. No.
Rubber ducky.
Yeah, play with our rubber ducky. No, so the house rebuild starts today. Yeah, have you heard that song before, Dick?
I think I have, but
it's gonna be in your head all day long now.
There's so many uses, and all of them are unclean.
Ironically.
But yeah, FEMA, cool.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sean is a fan of FEMA this week.
Well, we need to get them on the line.
I think we can do that.
We can talk to one and just berate him with questions.
You can berate them. I'll go, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, no, we'll let Jake interview him.
Yeah,
he always asks those real hard-hitting questions that stump everybody.
Yeah, Jake can come up with the stats and stuff.
Yeah.
Like sports. Hey, a little follow-up. Remember we had last week, we were talking with John Patterson, who's in charge of Aid Puerto Rico Now. It's a great organization. Got some word that the word has spread so much on this that they have actually gotten up to, and the numbers are, I'm going to say up to because there are two things that are happening right now, 10,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
Ready to go down to Puerto Rico.
Can they take that on one flight?
Well, it's going to have to be, because they got the airline who's offering his airline to take him down. I think it was like 25 pallets of these, food that all you have to do, it's specially prepared, that all you got to unseal it and boil it, and it's a full meal, like MREs and stuff. 10,000 pounds of food. This is a guy that is just putting this thing together. So I wanted to do a follow-up on aid. Go to aidprnow.org to find out how you can help Aid Puerto Rico Now, or just check out more about them. They're really cool.
How's Mississippi doing? I didn't even realize there was another hurricane that popped up out of nowhere. And
yeah, Biloxi got hit again. People forget that after Katrina wiped out New Orleans, it pretty much wiped out Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And got lost in the shuffle. They got hit again, but apparently there's some flooding, but hopefully they'll be okay.
This one was moving pretty fast, though.
Yeah, it ripped through. It didn't, Harvey nailed us so hard because it just wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it was quick. Hopefully, let's do a follow up on that because I know Texans are ready to help.
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
I know there was our little division of, like, they got the Cajun Navy. I guess the Texas Army was ready to go and move on out. I didn't know that. I don't know if Texas Army was around prior to Harvey, but I know that they've started to develop a group of people that are like, oh yeah, we're going to go respond. Now the Cajun Navy has been around for quite a while.
Those guys rock. They were one of the organizations that helped me with my house for
Yeah.
the teardown, and those people just were awesome.
I know two Cajun Navy members, and we've known them for life, and they were off of the energy corridor right there at Highway 6 and I-10 doing tons of rescues over there. So they came with 4 boats. Those two gentlemen came with 4 boats and 8 people in total. And yeah, they were doing a lot of good stuff there. So Cajun Navy, hands off to you guys.
Right. We're just giving props to those in the community that are just really doing it right.
Because not everything is cocaine on desk, or white powder on desk, if you will.
Yeah, I like how the reports on that guy.
Well, because it has not been confirmed that it was actually cocaine. So
It could have been heroin. You're right.
It could have been heroin. It could have been Adderall. I've seen, I've heard.
It could have been powdered sugar.
It could have been powdered sugar.
It could have been.
Pixie dust, the little pixie sticks when you're a kid.
I love those pixie sticks.
I know.
Wouldn't that be a weird way? Like, that's how you were taught to consume the pixie sticks?
Distorted?
Well, I mean, think about it. They give you the stick.
It's like the meal in a can. I mean, it's ready to go. You got your straw. You got your drugs there.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out
Just
there.
saying.
Just throwing it
Well,
out
that's how to
there.
end this show.
Not everything is bad.
Kids,
there are
Halloween's
some
coming.
good.
That's right. But we're having fun today. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8-ish. And then Mornings Lone Star, sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning and also Conroe Coffee. Jake, thanks for sticking in. Coming
Yeah.
up next here on Lone Star Community Radio for the rest of our talk block, we got the weekly business hour with my dad. He's going to be here at 11 o'clock, so stick around. And, of course, Margie Taylor and the Nerd Thug Radio till 3 p.m. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, every day when I make my way to the tubby.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show is recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.